I'm Simone Bader. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My subspecialty is sports medicine. I do take call, so I see a lot of patients with osteoporosis and fractures. So osteoporosis is actually an interesting topic, and we're very worthwhile discussing.
Okay, and what is osteoporosis?
So osteoporosis is when the bone density starts to diminish, and people tend to be at a higher risk of breaking bones because their bones are not as strong. So if someone were to fall, they have a higher likelihood of breaking a bone, like their wrist or their shoulder, or most problematic is the hip. And we see that a lot. I think it's pretty much at epidemic levels in the United States. Elderly people falling, breaking their hip, that's the big problem.
And what are some symptoms or warning signs that you may be affected by osteoporosis?
It's typically not a painful condition. It's typically kind of a silent problem. It's best managed by prevention. So doing exercise to strengthen your bones and muscles when you're younger, that gives you a better reserve. And so when you do get older, it's harder to build bone strength back, but if you have a higher reserve, then you have stronger bones at an older age. Now there are treatments out there that can be used, and those are usually done by the primary care doctors. And what they use is either medications that are done or injections to help strengthen the bone. They do have their own set of problems and side effects, but sometimes certain individuals can kind of manage those decisions and decide what's best for them with their primary care doctor.
And how do you guys treat osteoporosis here at Golden State?
So what we do is we tend to identify individuals because they have either osteoporosis or they broke a bone, and then we'll usually use that as a conversation starter to say, look, you broke this bone, it wasn't strong to start with, you're at risk for breaking more bones. So we want you to do what you can to talk to your family doctor about strengthening your bones and manage risk factors for falling, such as maybe needing a cane, maybe things like proprioception or balance, vertigo, things like that, that can be mitigating factors in terms of addressing to prevent a fall. So it's not all about the bones, it's about the whole person, and you want to make sure you address everything comprehensively.
And how do you determine it's osteoporosis? By looking at x-rays and looking at bone density?
So there's two ways. One, an older person that falls and breaks their bone, it's not a heavy trauma, that's a red flag. Number two is when you look at x-rays, the bones just don't look as dense. But the gold standard is something called a DEXA scan. So that's something where they actually look at the bone density and evaluate it, and then they grade you based on what your expected density should be, and that's usually done by either your primary care doctor or endocrinologist, but primary care doctors are usually the primary ones that manage that.
Okay. And do you happen to know who are more at risk, like an age group or a certain set of people that?
Yeah, older, Asian or white females tend to be the highest risk.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of the classic older females with osteoporosis, but everybody is prone to it. It's as you get older, your bones do get more thin and frail, and you can do a lot of things to try to prevent problems from it.
I don't expect you to know this off the top of your head, but I just thought I'd ask. Do you happen to know like any statistics for how many people are affected by osteoporosis in the United States?
Oh gosh, it's probably hundreds of thousands of people a year. So it's pretty significant, and in terms of health dollars, it's probably up into the $20–30 billion a year cost to our healthcare system because of people that break their hips or break bones because of osteoporosis. So both from a morbidity standpoint of just helping each individual, I think it's a very important target to try to decrease those numbers, and then also from a financial standpoint from our health system.
You mentioned that it's sort of like an epidemic. Do you find that with research of osteoporosis, it's becoming easier to identify?
It's not necessarily the identification, because we're pretty good about identifying it. It's the best treatment. So treating it and preventing those fractures, whether it's with medicine or maybe future treatments where we do something to strengthen the bone directly, those are still kind of in their infancy, but there are treatments out there. It's just doing it and doing it safely to help decrease the risk for fractures.